Conclusion. Instagram is a traffic goldmine. It really is. There's really no other way to describe it. However, you need to follow the tips I mentioned here and customize them to fit your particular set of circumstances. If you were to do that, you can turbocharge your results with Instagram. The best part? You don't have to pay all that much money to get a lot of results. Introduction. Instagram presents a massive traffic opportunity for marketers. It is huge. How big is Instagram? Well, in June 2018, which is roughly a year prior to this training, Instagram reached the 1 billion user milestone. Think about that for a second. A lot of other platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat are suffering from lagging growth rates. Instagram, on the other hand, continues to grow and shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, when it comes to actual daily usage, Instagram leaves other larger platforms in the dust. These other platforms may have a lot more users, but in terms of daily use, Instagram can boast over 500 million users. That's right. 500 million Instagram app users access Instagram every single day. That's a lot of content consumption. That's a lot of likes, comments, hashtags, and what have you. In fact, when measured in terms of per user engagement, it is easy to see that Instagram user behavior is more habitual. For example, with Facebook, many people have a love-hate relationship with the platform. They would use it habitually for some time until they read some rough updates. They don't feel too good, and they swear off Facebook for a few days, a few weeks, or even a few months. Not so with Instagram. People not only use it every single day, but they keep coming back. In fact, a lot of people check their Instagram feed every few hours. They don't feel like they're going out of their way when they use Instagram. It's very easy to understand this dynamic because Instagram was programmed from the ground up as a mobile experience. This is a far cry from Facebook, which, of course, was built primarily for the desktop. Since Instagram is a mobile-focused platform, it's very easy for people to have some sort of seamless perception of it. It just becomes part of their daily routine. They treat Instagram the way many people used to read the newspaper first thing in the morning. It shows no signs of saturation because there are so many niches that can be promoted on Instagram. The bottom line is, as long as a niche is photo or video friendly or graphically intensive, there is an audience on Instagram for that niche. This is extremely important if you have an e-commerce website to promote. If you are selling any kind of merchandise, Instagram should be part of your marketing strategy. There are no two ways about it. You're leaving a lot of money on the table if you skip Instagram. Sounds awesome so far, right? Well, here's the problem. Most people who try Instagram flat out fail. They really do. If you want to learn why this is the case, jump to video 1, 10 key reasons most marketers fail on Instagram. It's easy to get excited about Instagram's reach, user consumption patterns, and overall traffic volume. It's very easy to get pumped up when it comes to those facts. But the problem is, most people who try marketing on Instagram fail to get the results they are looking for. Here are just 10 of the most common reasons. I'm not going to pretend that this is the most comprehensive list you will ever come across. Instead, this list sums up the most common ways people slip up on Instagram. There are other ways, but chances are, if you don't know what you're doing, you have screwed up because of one of the following. Reason number 1, one-time, big-time paid marketing campaign. A lot of people who have access to marketing budgets are very impatient to promote their online store on Instagram. They just jump in with both feet. They're clueless as to what they're doing. All they know is that they have a lot of money to spend, so they pump out ad after ad after ad. After all the money has been burned through, they have very little to show for it. The reason for this is because they believe they can just throw money at the problem. Well, the bottom line here is return on investment. Sure, you're more than welcome to spend a tremendous amount of cash on a massive Instagram ad marketing campaign, but it's anybody's guess whether you will be able to meet ROI targets. You can't just rely on the fact that you have a lot of money to spend. Believe it or not, even if you have a very modest or even small budget, you can still walk away with better results than a better financed marketing campaign. The difference? It all boils down to how systematic and methodical you are in running your Instagram ad campaign. Reason number 2, promoting direct conversion links. A lot of people think that Instagram is just a traffic source. You can tell from their marketing campaigns because they would create a profile with a homepage link that doesn't go to their homepage. It goes directly to a sales page or an email recruitment page or squeeze page. What do you think happens? That's right, a whole lot of nothing. It doesn't really matter how engaging your content is. If you are not qualifying people or helping them overcome some serious structural questions regarding whatever it is you're trying to promote, you're probably not going to achieve much with the traffic. I'm not disputing the fact that people do pull a lot of traffic from Instagram, but anybody who has ever tried online marketing knows that just because you get traffic, it doesn't mean you get conversions. Traffic, click-through, and conversions are totally different things. By promoting directly to your conversion page, which is your sales page or squeeze page, you may not have qualified the traffic well enough for you to convert those people into paying customers. Your ROI tanks and you end up wasting a tremendous amount of time, effort, and money on your Instagram campaign. Reason number 3, unreasonable suspicion of influencers. Influence marketing is really big on Instagram. Basically, you find people who are already influential in your niche and you pay them to mention your product or give shout-outs to your profile. Whatever method you use, you leverage their existing popularity and credibility with their community. The problem is there are many fake influencers out there. I'm not going to deny this. Nobody can. There are lots of accounts on Instagram that are flat out fake. Not only are their accounts fake, but the people following them are fake too. It's all a software illusion. It is no surprise that a lot of marketers have gotten burned by these influencers. Maybe they are charging $20 a shout out, or maybe they are charging $5 per product mention. But regardless of how cheap the influencer rates may be, it's wasted money because they don't really have any influence. They just have high follower numbers. These followers are not real. Not surprisingly, a lot of people have been turned off by influencers. They don't even want to deal with influencers at all. This is a serious mistake. It's one thing to be suspicious of fake influencers. It's another to completely close your mind to working out a mutually advantageous deal with real influencers. There is a difference. Believe it or not, reaching out and closing deals with the right influencers can mean the difference between your online store making tens of thousands of dollars a month or your company continuing to struggle. Reason number 4, choosing to be antisocial. There's a reason why social media is called social media. It's supposed to allow people to be social. It's supposed to enable outreach, engagement, sharing of ideas, and forming genuine communities regarding certain interests and topics. Unfortunately, a lot of marketers just create pages and blast out content. They don't care if people react to their materials. They don't care if people even see their materials. They're just going through the motions. Well, let me tell you, if that's how you run your Instagram campaign, you are being antisocial. You're not reaching out to influencers, nor are you engaging with the fans of your content. This leads you to failing to create a community around your content. Believe it or not, it is your community that will add dollars to your bank account. That's how it works. By choosing to be antisocial, you kill your online community before it even forms. Reason number 5, relying on substandard photos or videos. This should be self-explanatory. Instagram is primarily a photo platform. Accordingly, accounts that feature the highest quality photos tend to get a lot more followers. Keep it at that level. Post only high quality photos. Post videos with high production quality. This way, you would stand out from your competitors. Reason number 6, build it and they will come content strategy. Have you ever had an amazing idea regarding a hot photo that people in your niche simply cannot refuse? Chances are you've had such ideas. Well, what would happen if you spend your precious cash on such content ideas? Let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, you probably will fall flat on your face. You did not do any consumer intelligence. You did not do any research work ahead of time establishing that your audience would actually be interested in whatever content you are putting up. You can't just build this content and expect people to show up and come out of the woodwork. It doesn't work that way. A lot of businesses fail because of this. Your content must be based on existing demand and existing interest, not based on what you think is hot. Reason number 7, failure to repost others' niche-specific content. Believe it or not, you can build a tremendous amount of credibility on social media by simply reposting somebody's tried and proven content. In other words, if somebody posted content that got a lot of likes, engagement, comments, and what have you, you can repost that and recreate some sort of that engagement on your account. This is perfectly okay because you end up promoting that third-party account. You create a win-win situation. You build up your own credibility within your niche, and you drive attention to that brand. Everybody wins. If you fail to do this because you are hell-bent on promoting only your own stuff, your Instagram account is probably not going to grow all that quickly. You need to leverage other people's successful content. Focus on the win-win. Don't just focus on monopolizing the traffic results of your efforts. Reason number 8, failing to call Instagram feed viewers to action. Once you've developed a following, you have to make sure that those people interested in your content actually do something for you. Obviously, you're not engaging in Instagram marketing because you have nothing else better to do. You're not doing this for your health. You're doing this because you want to make money. There's no shame in that game. Step up and actually call people to action. If you post pictures of nice t-shirts, tell people, if you like this shirt, click on my profile and click on the link to get a 50% discount. Regardless of how you do it, call people to action. Otherwise, they're just going to view your account as a place where they can check out cool new things without much obligation or commitment on their part. You end up training your community members to be passive. That kind of audience is worthless to you. If you want to make money from your account, call people to action. Reason number 9, failure to use hashtags or using the wrong ones. Hashtags establish the niche of your content. People who are interested in a certain type of content would use a certain type of hashtag. Use this habitually. It may seem like people aren't using the hashtags that you use, but eventually, you will get the hang of it. Eventually, you will identify the hashtags that pull in the most traffic. Regardless, you need to make it a habit from day one. Reason number 10, posting off-niche content. I know you're excited about having an Instagram account, but don't let that excitement spill over into you just posting random personal interest posts. Your account, if you're using it for business purposes, is not about you. Instead, it's about your target audience members. Understand that they have a narrow range of interests. Stick within that narrow range. Otherwise, you won't be training your community to put money in your pockets because they will view your account as essentially entertainment. They won't find it credible as far as niche-specific products. They just think you're fun to follow, but you really don't have much pull with them because you post about everything. If you focus only on one thing and one thing alone, like, for example, luxury watches, you can bet that a lot of the people following you will think that you're some sort of expert, and they are more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt when you start calling them to action to buy stuff from you. That's how it works. Stick to your target niche. Focus on the big picture. Understand that you're doing this for a reason. You're not just doing this to screw around. You don't have to fail. In this video, I want to get your mind right. You have to understand that if you're going to be promoting on Instagram, you're going to be engaged in a big deal. It's going to take quite a bit of your time, focus, and energy. I don't want you to fail. Unfortunately, a lot of people go into this in a very casual way. They think that it's all about following some sort of recipe or checklist. They think that it's all about taking actions in a certain sequence, and things will pretty much fall into place. Boy, are they in for a nasty surprise. Things don't work out that way. You have to approach this with the right mindset. Otherwise, your chances of failure are going to be quite high. Follow the tips below so you can properly prepare. Again, you do not have to fail. You don't have to follow the pattern most of your competitors go through. You can succeed, but you have to get your mind right. Have the right mindset. The first thing that you need to understand is that you have to believe that this is going to work. I can't even begin to tell you how many otherwise seasoned veteran entrepreneurs I coach who constantly sabotage themselves. They come across a hot new money-making idea on the internet, and they automatically tell themselves that this is a scam. This works for other people, but not me. This is too good to be true, and on it goes. They're excited about it. They read book after book about it, but they never ever give it their 100% because in the back of their minds, they think that it won't work. I'm telling you, you have to believe that whatever it is that you are doing will succeed or can succeed. If you doubt it in any way, then doubt will continue to grow and eat into your focus and resolve. Eventually, you find yourself unable to put in the amount of time and focus your project needs to succeed. You need to believe in three things. First, you need to believe that this business model will work. Second, you need to believe that you can make it work. I'm not talking about other people. I'm not talking about outsourcing the work. I'm talking about you, yourself, can make it work. And third, you have to believe that this is worth committing to. It's one thing to focus on a project on a one-shot, big-shot kind of basis. You basically throw a lot of energy to it on day one and hope that you put in so much work that that work will carry you through the rest of the journey. It doesn't work that way. Real businesses are like marriages. They require you to commit day after day, week after week, month after month. It's a long-term thing. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. If you adopt these three mindsets, you increase your chances of success dramatically. Set aside the right amount of time. Logistically speaking, you have to schedule a fixed amount of time for your Instagram marketing efforts. The good news is that it doesn't have to eat up half your day. In fact, it doesn't even have to eat up a whole hour. As long as you stick to schedule, you will start to see results. How come? Well, you know that you only have, let's say, 15 minutes to focus on marketing. You keep trying it on a daily basis because you have chosen to be consistent. Eventually, things start to click and you are able to pack more activities within that 15-minute block. This leads to better results for you. Choose to be consistent. The bottom line is simple. You have to be consistent. Even if you can only afford to invest 15 minutes of your time every single day to your Instagram marketing efforts, that is plenty. The key here is the fact that you will always come back. The key here is that there is a sense of confidence in the fact that you will always step up to put in 15 minutes every single day. This can lead to amazing results because even though on the surface it doesn't seem like much time, the consistency makes you more disciplined. You're able to pack in a lot more focus and a lot more work within a fairly small time window. This leads to greater results. Also, your results tend to scale over time because you tend to do a better job. You are able to make better decisions. Document your efforts. I can't even begin to tell you how many good ideas most entrepreneurs think of in the span of a day. But the problem is, if you do not write down these ideas as you work on your Instagram marketing campaigns, you will forget about them. You won't be able to test them. And one of the most annoying things that can happen to you is when the idea that you thought of before keeps coming back, and then you forget it, and then when you're doing other stuff, it distracts you. You then focus your attention on it, then you forget it again, and on this ordeal goes. The end result is that you waste a tremendous amount of time, focus, and energy. Document your ideas. Pick out the best and try them out. If they don't work, that's fine. Move on. If they work, incorporate them in your daily activities. Measure success based on where you are in the development process. What if I told you that many people who fail in online marketing did not have to fail? Seriously, they gave up too quickly. You have to understand that quitting is the only way you can fail. The game is still not over if you're still in the game. If you're still throwing punches, you're still in the ring. But the moment you throw in the towel and you leave the ring, the game is over. You failed. The problem is when people work on a particularly big project, and believe me, online marketing is one of those projects, they measure themselves using the wrong standards. They just got started, and they start counting how much money they're making. Obviously, they're not making any money. So what happens when you do this? Well, you discourage yourself. You keep repeating to yourself, you're putting all this time, focus, and energy, and you have very little to show for it. You're not making any money. Eventually, your resolve gives way. You sabotage your passion when you do this. Instead of immediately thinking about how much money you have made when you just started your online business, focus instead on where you are. Measure your success based on the stage of development you're in. This way, if I just put up a website, my measure of success would be how many pieces of content do I have up? Are all the links working? Do I have a nice graphic? Is my website easy to find? Did I set up SEO correctly? Are all my products imported properly? And once I have successfully answered yes to all those questions, then I move on to the next stage of the development, which is promotions. Do you see how this works? If you start an online project and you just jump straight ahead to the part where you're collecting all the big money, you are going to depress yourself. That's really what you're going to be doing. You're going to discourage yourself because, obviously, the big money doesn't appear then. It appears at the end of the process when everything else has been built up. Resolve to fail quickly. I know this sounds like a crazy piece of advice, but it is actually one of the most powerful pieces of money-making advice anybody can give you. Seriously. Why? Like I said earlier, in the span of a day, entrepreneurs come up with all sorts of crazy ideas on how to make more money with their business. A lot of these ideas, sadly, are half-baked. A lot of them make all sorts of faulty assumptions and they really are failures from the beginning. Now, instead of allowing yourself to get sucked in by all these ideas to the point where your focus and mental and emotional resources are drained, choose to explore the most powerful of them. Maybe if you have like 100 ideas in a week, pick 3 that you think have the highest chance of succeeding. Implement them in the next week. Put in all the right amount of time, focus, and energy. See if they actually work. If they don't, move on. Keep doing this until you find something that works and then scale it up. This is how you fail quickly. In this context, failure helps you because you keep throwing spaghetti at the wall. You keep experimenting until eventually you come up with something that works. When you find something that works, you scale it up, and this produces even more results. That's how you can turn quick failure into big-time success. Stay focused on conversions. It's easy to get hung up on success metrics that don't really matter. Seriously. The amount of traffic that you get ultimately doesn't matter. The amount of times people talk about your brand by itself ultimately doesn't matter. You know what matters? Money in your bank account. How do you get there? Sell more products. It doesn't get any simpler than that. That's the bottom line. This is why you have to focus on conversions. All your ad optimization, all your content marketing on Instagram, all your brand information, all of them must lead to conversions. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong. If you keep the ideas above in mind and you follow the tips that I've shared with you, you increase your likelihood of success. Again, you don't have to fail. You just have to have a game plan in front of you, and you have to choose to be consistent. This is a commitment. This is not something that you choose to do because it feels good. Step aside from your feelings and focus instead on your ability to commit. Instagram success is all about persona. Make no mistake, if you want your marketing campaign on Instagram to be successful, you have to build a persona for your brand. This is non-negotiable. It doesn't matter whether you are trying to get free traffic from that platform or you are paying for ad views, you have to build a persona. How come? Why is a personal touch or a personal brand so important? Can't you just create an account, post pictures, and somehow, some way, people would follow you? Well, here's the truth. People on Instagram do not follow hashtag poachers en masse. They really don't. Sure, you can attract a few people here and there, but if it's obvious that your persona really has nothing to do with the hashtags you constantly target, not enough people will follow you. And the ones that do probably are not going to take you all that seriously. They look at you just as a source of the kind of content that they're looking for and nothing more. Believe me, that's the wrong kind of relationship to build. You want to be viewed as a credible and authoritative persona, so people will give you the benefit of the doubt when you recommend a product to them. That's the bottom line. That's how you make money. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen if you do not have a persona. Please understand that these people are not just following marketers. It's not like they're searching for marketers because they have nothing else better to do. They're looking to develop some sort of relationship. Think of it as building a fan base. There's a reason why Kim Kardashian and other celebrities on Instagram can get away with charging thousands of dollars per shout-out. People are devoted to them. People follow them very closely because of the persona they have built. You have to do the same. The challenge of commercial persona building on Instagram. It would be easy if your persona is all about you. For example, if you're big into marathon running or you love going from country to shop at different malls, you can create a personal, non-commercial persona. In that case, people follow because of your personality and your truly unique way of looking at the world. To a certain degree, people would want to check out the products you endorse. But this doesn't necessarily mean that a high percentage of people who follow you would take your recommendations. To make that happen, you have to create a niche-specific persona. If you have an online store that you're promoting, your persona must be specific to the product niche of your store. This is the first step. Create a niche-specific persona. Second, make sure that it can attract a real following. This is the second part of the puzzle, and the steps below, and the rest of this training, teach you how to create that following and make money from it. In a nutshell, here are the 6 steps that you would need to follow to build a solid Instagram brand persona. You need to follow these 6 key steps. Now, I'm not saying that these are one-size-fits-all type of suggestions. I'm not saying that you must follow these to the letter. You obviously have to tweak and customize them to fit your set of circumstances. Still, you need to follow these 6 steps for you to succeed in building a real following on Instagram. This is just an overview. I'm going to devote one video to each of these steps. Step number 1, find your competitors on Instagram and reverse engineer them. Step number 2, curate top-notch content and mix in your reverse engineered content. Step number 3, adopt a content-first sales funnel. Step number 4, use Facebook's ad retargeting system to pull Instagram users deeper into your funnel. Step number 5, pay and interact with niche-specific Instagram influencers. Step number 6, continuously optimize all parts of your funnel. Now that you have an overview of what you need to do, let's dive in, starting with video 4. Again, the strategy here is to build a credible niche-specific persona and create a following for that persona. This is how you will get traffic. This is how you will get visitors to your target site, which you can then optimize for maximum conversions. At the end of the day, all the traffic in the world is not going to make you wealthier. You know what will? Conversions. There are tons of websites out there, in particular Imgur.com, that get a lot of traffic, but they make very little money compared to the huge volume of traffic they get. If you own an online store, you need to focus on conversions because that is what will put food on your table and nothing else. Find your competitors on Instagram and reverse engineer them. The first thing you need to do is list out all your competitors. If you don't know who your competitors are, go on Google and type in keywords related to your online store. Find all your competitors on Google and use the similar site research on Google to find online stores that are related to your competitors. Come up with a massive list. Search for them on Instagram. Once you have a great list of competitors, the next step is to look for them on Instagram. Do they have Instagram accounts? If they do, come up with a big list of competitors there as well. Study your competitors' Instagram accounts. Once you have a massive list of direct URLs on Instagram of your competitors, study them very closely. Take note of the quality of their Instagram profile. Pay attention to their content strategy. What kind of content do they keep publishing over and over again? I'm not saying that they're publishing the same exact content, but you can tell that they publish content using the same theme or topics. Take note of these. Most importantly, pay attention to the hashtags they're using. Reverse engineer your competitors' success. At this point, you should be aware that some of your competitors' content gets a lot more love from Instagram than others. This should be your top priority. Figure out which of their content gets the most traction. I am, of course, talking about the number of likes, comments, and other indicators of popularity. Forget about everything else. Once you have listed your competitors' most successful content, spend enough time figuring them out. What should you look for? Pay attention to the hashtags they use. Take note of the kinds of pictures or videos that are most popular. Also, pay attention to the description text for these items. Do you see any similarities? Can you connect the dots? Is there some bigger pattern emerging? After you have studied these elements, pay attention to the profile page of your competitor and also the text embedded in the pictures or the call to action mentioned in the videos. These relate to their sales funnel. Basically, they are mentioning discount codes so people viewing this content can get a discount. They're also promoting the profile page of their website. Look at their sales funnel strategy. How do they use their popular content to get traffic to their site? Next, how do they convert that traffic to their site into paying customers? Do they use discount codes? Do they just dump them directly to their sales page? Is there some sort of special promotion they are holding? Do they dump people into a squeeze page so people can sign up to a mailing list that will notify them of special sales? Be clear on the sales funnel strategy that is most common among your competitors. Please understand that they will not use this model if it doesn't work. The fact that you keep seeing this model in many different forms again and again pretty much tells you everything you need to know about that sales funnel. They wouldn't be promoting it if it didn't work. Learn to connect the dots. At this level, you need to write down extensive notes regarding the 3 key factors for your success. Your goal is to understand your competitors' content so you can beat them at their own game. You're going to copy their themes. These themes are content themes. These are the things that they talk about consistently, which get a lot of love from their followers. Next, you're going to copy their sales funnel. There's a reason why the vast majority of your competitors have adopted pretty much the same sales funnel. There's no need for you to be a hero. There's no need for you to come up with something completely new. You just need to identify what works and build something similar. You need to build something that will improve on what your competitors have done. Next, you're going to pay attention to their content because you're going to come up with something better so you get a competitive advantage. These are the 3 strands that you need to put together for you to come out ahead of the competition on Instagram. Otherwise, you're just going to be sharing the same general stuff that they are sharing, and this is not going to help you. Seriously. Why? Well, you're not building a distinctive persona. You're just playing the game to be just another face in the crowd. At the back of their minds, your target audience members are saying to themselves, well, I can get the exact content from this brand's competitors. Why am I here? I'm not getting anything spectacularly different. The key here is to copy the same themes and the same sales funnels, but also to improve on them. In other words, you build on the strength, you leverage the strength of your competitors, but end up doing better than them because you address their weaknesses as well. You're going to be able to do this when you figure out their winning content themes and then come up with your own higher quality content. Second, you figure out their most popular hashtags and you use those hashtags for your own content. Finally, you take note of their most common sales funnels and you optimize your own version so you can get better results. The bottom line here is pretty straightforward. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. Some of your competitors are already successful. Build on their success. Use reverse engineering to let your competitors do your homework for you. There's absolutely no need for you to start from scratch because, believe me, the trial and error that you have to go through that burns up a tremendous amount of your time, effort, and energy is just simply too expensive.